Hello there, fellow listeners. The Table Podcast is now accepting donations from audience. So if you like the value we provide, please donate at anchor.fm/onecreate/support. Your monthly contribution will assist us in acquiring better equipment, sustaining future episodes, having larger guests, providing more value, and pursuing full-time production. That's anchor.fm/onecreate/support. And if you enjoyed this episode, please share it with your friends and family. Mike, Jay, Zach, and I would like to thank you from the bottom of our hearts, and we hope you enjoy the show. Table Podcast, episode 9. We got Mike Bennett, Jay Jackson, Saturated Soil, and we got a guest speaker, Mr. Sterling, today. Sterling, thank you for being on the show, man.
Thanks for having me, guys.
But yeah, so it's been a long week. Allergies are killing me. It's just like really bad this year. I don't know what, dude. Like every time I wake up, my nose is just congested, and I'm just like, dude, where's this coming from?
Do you live by like fields or anything?
Absolutely. I live on base, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
in the middle of all the fields.
yeah, so I'm in the
Just a sea of
I'm in the
fields.
prime real estate for
Yeah.
stuff for allergies. So
But Sterling was giving some good advice earlier. He was saying like having the honey from like local. That's right, local honey, right? Like
Clover.
it helps like your immune system to kind of, so like almost like that vaccine effect, right?
yeah,
Yeah, that's really cool.
If you can't find it at the stores, I mean, there's always like the farmer's market, and
Right.
there's usually people honey.
yeah,
Because that'd be
that's
super
the good
local
stuff.
Yeah.
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 You're contributing to your local community.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Clover is still normal base, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it said it was out of Santa Rosa.
Santa Rosa.
I've been there.
You been there?
Yeah, I had
Like their
did some
factory?
work with the water agency over there, like planting trees and all that stuff. Yeah, so
Nice.
cool.
That's cool, man.
legit.
Did you guys go to that parade yesterday in Petaluma? The eggs and milk, whatever.
Butter and eggs.
Butter and eggs.
Butter
Yeah,
and
I call it.
Eggs and milk, it was so kind of dairy, right? Like, did you guys go to the yogurt parade yesterday?
I haven't been to that parade in a long time. It's probably a good thing. It's a lot of partying and drinking and people just having a good time. But we actually went up to see Jules' dad yesterday. We
Yeah.
took Mike Bennett with us. And
Oh, nice.
We barbecued and
Worked on his house and
So-
got to see Jay on the scaffolding. Oh, it was classic.
So her dad is like, we call him Father Nature because
Father Nature.
he just like, he has a squirrel of his own, sort of
Yeah.
like cats, and so now he's building his house, so he's putting bat boxes on his house. So there's like little bat boxes or the small ones, so we had to get the large one up.
Yeah.
And we had to build like 4 levels of scaffolding, and dude, I'm climbing up that thing, bro, and I'm like, ooh, it's a little high up here, you know what I mean? And they're taking videos, and Mike and Jules are laughing at me, and Jules' dad is just climbing up and down these.
Oh.
Dude, ridiculous.
Yeah.
With speed and ease, dog. He's just up and down the scaffolding like. The man's had 2 heart attacks. He's got a torn rotator cuff.
Jeez, and he's
Yeah.
Dude, he's
And
getting it.
was moving like you
Fluid.
wouldn't believe, and I told Jay, I was like, you know what, man, your future father-in-law really approves of you because you're still alive.
Yeah.
Because you make this look like an accident.
He probably has that mentality of like live and just live until you die. You know, like
Yeah.
live like you're gonna
Yep.
die today, bro.
Yep,
Like
he goes hard.
He goes hard.
Yeah.
So we put up that bat box and we just kicked it. It was good. It was a good time.
that's awesome, man. Cool. Sterling, what's up, brother? How you doing?
Good.
You guys are cousins, right? You told me-
that's my dog. What? This is my man right here. Yeah.
Tell us a little bit of yourself, man.
Grew up for the most part in Santa Rosa, and when I was 9, we moved to Windsor, and then I did school for 6 months up there. Didn't like it. Came back. I was in let's see, and then when I was 14, then we moved to Cottonwood, California.
That's deep, right?
Yeah, that was a change. That was city living to country living quick. I didn't know anybody, and it was a rough go at first, but I started doing sports, did track. The football coach came up to me, wanted me to play for the team, so
Nice.
I trained my whole junior year with varsity, and the night of the first game of my senior year, my dad called me and said, "You got a full-time job, time to move back." So it was bittersweet.
Yeah.
The whole time I wanted to move back, but at that point it's like, oh, now I actually started trying to get used to life up there, and I was used to it and didn't want to move anymore, but
yeah. Changes can either be bad or good, right? But it's just
Usually a little bit of both.
a little bit of both. Yeah, like what he said, bittersweet.
Yeah.
so been back since and got a family now, living in Cloverdale.
All right, married, have kids?
Not married, but we have one kid.
Nice.
And she has three sons.
Okay.
Me, so.
Nice.
Family.
Yeah, family, man.
Yeah, that's exactly why we do all that we're doing right now, right? It's family.
It's absolutely.
Yep. Family,
Yeah. Once we had my son, it was like, I don't have time for anything else. I just want to be home, with family. So
Yeah.
it's good.
Absolutely. It's awesome. But yeah, so yeah, thanks Sterling for being in today's show. We always like to have guests on. It's been hard to get guests on the show lately, man. Everybody's just been busy. So I'm trying to get this financial planner. Hopefully he can respond back to my email soon enough for our last episode. Man, so should I tell you guys the plans right now for the future of the show?
Absolutely, yo.
All right, so
Are you thinking of not telling us?
no, I was gonna wait until the last episode, but
Okay, wait till the season finale.
Yeah, season finale,
You already opened it.
But yeah, I already opened it. So I was gonna wait for this for episode 10, and I can always mention it again on the last episode. But so episode or season 1 is on my designated YouTube channel. I'm going to transfer all those and have a designated YouTube channel for the Table Podcast.
Yeah.
So yeah, so
bro.
I am.
Thank you.
So I've been learning this process of called niching out, and I've been running 3 kind of like different avenues, but at the same time, kind of it aligns with one another. So I do the videography, I do the and the podcast, and I also do. I forgot what I did the third one. I lied. So I only do 2. So I only do videography and the podcast.
Okay.
I thought I did 3. But so it kind of aligns with one another. So producing, right? So I've been trying to process of niching out my YouTube channel to vlogging my way into starting a business, from transferring from 9 to 5 to a business.
Yeah.
And then my Instagram is all about videography, wedding videography, and that's my niche right now for videography.
Okay.
And then I got you guys the podcast. So yeah, kind of like 3 different things. So there you go.
Absolutely.
So I'll have a designated channel for the Table Podcast, and then after season finale, after our heart breaks, after Mike leaves, because I'm gonna be crying.
Dude.
And Zach, hopefully Zach is gonna be staying until like November timeframe. But the future of this podcast looks like it's gonna be me and Jay.
Let's go.
But I'm gonna do a spin-off show called the Table Podcast Sessions,
Okay.
and it's gonna be about technically just creators, like photographers and videographers, and talk about their business.
Okay.
So it's gonna be all specific for that. And then the
Nice.
name, and then the umbrella is us, the Table Podcast, finance, entrepreneurship, leadership. So
So are we
Nice.
still sitting down with them, or is that like you and them?
that's gonna be me and them.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's a
Nice.
spin-off, right? The
Okay.
spin-off show.
Cool.
But hey, you're always welcome.
Well,
you're always
I'm the
invited,
only one
man.
that's gonna be
So-
here, so you let me
You're always
know.
welcome. So you're always invited. And when he moves to the East Coast, he can join us virtually on
Yeah.
future episodes.
Yeah,
So
that's the game plan and stuff.
Bro, I'm
So,
gonna
so
sit in
I'll,
the
I'll be there
driveway
for all
and
those.
cry.
Yeah.
I'm gonna cry in that driveway, bro.
Oh man,
That's
bro,
so
I'm telling you,
sad,
man,
dog.
dude, it's been real. But the thing is, I think that's one of the major advantages for the day and age that we live in, and life's all about that, right? Life's all about taking advantage of what we have, and the ability to see each other, via virtual means, and then also we can travel now. It's like,
Yeah.
we're all at that age and stage where we're established enough to actually travel.
Yeah.
Because I'm coming back for the big day in August.
You'll be in
August
it.
and stuff. Yeah, we're gonna be there for that, right? And so it makes those moments where we're face to face
Sweeter.
all the more better. Yeah, all the sweeter.
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't have to miss everybody so much. Just pick up the phone and
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
interact. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And one last thing. So I spoke to you this about Mike, but I think after the last episode or episode 10, we're gonna have to rebrand the name, the title, to the Infinite Table, because people are having a hard time looking up our stuff on Spotify and all these other platforms. So I looked up the Infinite Table if it's available. It's available right now. So I'm gonna have to register that name, and then so people can look for us easier.
Bro, that tie-in is nasty.
Yeah.
That is sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's gonna be an awesome reveal.
Yeah.
That's gonna be pulling
Yeah,
it off the
sweet.
table. That's gonna be an awesome reveal. So that means before you publish this recording, gotta snatch that name.
Yeah, we have to. Yeah, absolutely, we have to snatch it. So
How's that process going? Like trying to.
I think it's trademarking. It's basically trademarking, so nobody can't steal it. Because there are other podcast names out there that's called
There's a
The
lot
Table.
with it.
Yeah.
Table. Yeah,
Yeah.
I tried when we first started. I remember typing it in. I even went on Spotify and typed it in, and I got
There's
like
a lot. Yeah.
numerous The Table podcast.
Yeah.
So
I think the biggest one out there on the platform is Anthony O'Neill. The Table with Anthony O'Neill. He talks about finances. He used to be with Team Dave Ramsey. So yeah, but he does good stuff too. So shout out to Anthony O'Neill if you hear this. So. But yeah, so I did take my daughter to that Apple Blossom Parade in Sebastopol.
how was it? I've been there a couple times.
It was great actually. It was like an hour long parade.
Nice.
It was great, man.
Was that yesterday?
It was yesterday, yeah, at Sebastopol. So.
The citrus parade.
Oh, that's it. Yeah, see, there was like multiple parades that happened yesterday, bro.
That is
Wait, so it was butter and eggs, apple blossom,
Yep,
and
then the citrus one.
Oh, word.
It's crazy.
I didn't know there was
everybody's competing.
Yeah, everyone's gonna
Healthy competition on parade day.
be- yeah,
Right?
Just a random parade
That's
day.
cool.
but yeah. All right, so let's get down to the nitty and gritty of today's episode:
Absolutely.
truth and Politricks. I like to say Politricks, man.
Absolutely.
But so, long story short, when I started, pursuing entrepreneurship and business, it opened my eyes to a lot of things, man. It opened my eyes to a lot of like policies, where my money is going, taxes. It's the ultimate red pill, man. Entrepreneurship is the ultimate red pill.
And once you take those goggles off, bro, you take the blinders off, you can't put them back on.
You
It's
can't,
too
dude.
late.
You really can't, bro. And it's just
Never have to see this, and
Yeah.
it's tough. you
Yeah.
can't
you can't unsee
unsee
it. You can't unsee it, and that's why today there's like a lot of people that say, "Oh, the 1% should always pay their taxes." Well, in entrepreneurship, there's loopholes, right? That they play around with. It's like, yeah, they probably do play or pay a certain amount of taxes, but entrepreneurship, man, like everything can be a tax write-off.
Yeah.
Like even a jet fuel, when you ride a private jet, like a private jet fuel, that's a tax write-off.
Yeah, I was listening to somebody. I was listening to he was an ex-NFL player, and I think he was doing some sort of business, but he was talking about his private jet, and he was like, "I bought the jet for like $5 million, and somehow through taxes he got like 3 back or like 3.5 back," and I was just like, "Oh, word!" Like, and everybody was just sitting like, "Dude, are you serious?" And he's like, "Yeah, this is what I'm trying to tell y'all," and I'm like, "That's yeah." So it's things like
Yeah.
that,
Yeah. But all right, let's rewind this a little bit. So, with Politricks or politics or whatever, I want to know what everybody stand on their beliefs or value system. So I'll start first. So I lean kind of like more towards conservative libertarian. Libertarian as like saying, look, I don't want my freedom to impose your freedom as long as you don't use your freedom to impose mine.
Yeah.
So you do whatever you need to do, and I'll do whatever I need to do. So that's where I kind of like stand on. How about you, Mike?
Yeah, I'm pretty much in the same camp, which I can totally see that we'd be such good friends and stuff because we do share a lot of those same beliefs and stuff.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is, I was thinking earlier, I'm like, man, we're talking about politics today, right? Like, that's what they say, like politics and religion, right? Are things you don't talk about at the table, and here we are at the table talking about politics, right? Well, so for me, so my political view is, and you know, the audience knows that we are here in the U.S. Our political system, right? You know, you got the Democrats, Republicans, you know, some independents and stuff like that, and you know, a few other smaller parties. I am more so in the libertarian camp, but fiscally conservative as well.
Yeah, fiscally conservative.
Yeah. What you, Sterling?
Yeah, I've always thought about this ever since I was 18. Like, where do I stand on the spectrum? And these last 12 years, probably, once I got Instagram, started following all these people, I just kind of like bowed out and said, live and let live.
Yeah.
Don't mess with me, I won't mess with you.
Yep.
You know, respect my decisions, I respect yours.
Yep.
You know, I'm all about self-sustainment, and so, you know, libertarian. Once I started learning exactly like where each party stood, I don't like the political labels,
Right.
especially nowadays. You know, because everybody's at each other's throats based on that.
Crazy
alone.
nowadays.
And you know, it shouldn't be like that, but it is. So yeah, as far as my money, I would have to go with Mike and say I'm conservative libertarian.
Nice.
I'm gonna sit here and say I agree with. Like, I think it can be dangerous to be too far.
Too far, yeah.
Either way it goes, and I think a lot of the time, you know, whether somebody's on this side or that side, there's going to be things that they obviously disagree on, but there's going to be some things that they might agree on also, even though they're on two different sides of the spectrum. So, you know, freedom. I believe in freedom.
Mm-hmm.
You have the freedom to do, you know, whatever it is that you want to do, as long as you're not, you know, harming anybody or whatever. But don't come over here and try to impose on what it is that I want to do, because we're gonna have a problem. And I've seen a lot of that lately, and it's like, just because I believe that the sky is green, I'm not gonna sit here and try to convince you that the sky is green. And if you don't think the sky is green, well then, to hell with whatever you believe in, because you're wrong. You know, like, that's just not. I don't know. I don't see that as being productive. Now, if we want to sit down and have an educated conversation about our beliefs, which I think that needs to happen more, I am more than 100% open to do that, because that way you can learn something from me and I can learn something from you. But to sit here and you know, bash each other or bash someone because they don't believe in the same things you have, which is hard because like people have been through completely different life paths, you know, so we're not all gonna, that's the beauty of Earth, right? You know, we're not all the same. So yeah, I want to reiterate, I do believe in freedom to the fullest degree, and I think that's important. I mean, that's kind of what America was founded on, you know what I mean? And at least you know, it should be, at least lately, you know, but yeah.
At the end of the day, we all bleed red.
Exactly.
Right? We all bleed red, dude. Like, we're not, unless somebody else comes from Mars and they bleed blue, whatever, you know. But at the end of the day, we all bleed red. And like I mentioned this in the like couple podcasts ago, like we're all connected, not because of our similarities, but we're all connected because of our differences.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, I like that. That's
You know?
tight. Yeah.
That's how we are, you know. It doesn't matter what race or what gender or what creed, you know. We're all the same. We're all under the same, you know, under this big big blue sky. So, but anyways, so politics, right? When you think of the word politics, what's in there? I think politics is it's policies. When you vote for a specific candidate, or you know, a senator or president, right? You're not voting for them. I mean, they may look.
For their policies.
You're voting for their policies. They may look good on paper, right? But what most voters don't.
Been a lot of that lately.
Yeah. What most voters don't realize is they don't read the fine print. They only vote for what's good on the surface. Do you guys think that's a exactly? Do you guys think that's a problem?
Absolutely. I think that right now, politics, especially in our country, they're so polarizing and they're so polarized, right? It's like you got this red versus blue, blood versus Crip type mentality.
That's exactly how
right. And it's like people are bringing the same fan type mentality to politics that they take to sports, right? You know, somebody can have a favorite football team, and you know, it's like
It's us or die.
yeah, you know, it's like,
our
you know,
team or die.
yeah, you know, it's like they have a favorite football team, and their quarterback can throw 5 interceptions in a single game, and they still will be like, yo, my guy's the guy, like my guy's the greatest. And I think that what's causing that is that we've gotten away from the idea that our political views can be on a spectrum, right? We've attributed spectrums to so many other aspects of life and nature, and human nature, but political views can also be on a spectrum, right? We don't have to be all left or all right. You know, we can be, you know, things can slide. You know, on some topics we can be like, hey, you know, this is a good idea. On some, hey, that's a good idea, right? Because the way I look at it is, if we have 2 candidates, and one is a Democrat and one's a Republican, and let's say that the Democrat has 5 good ideas and 10 bad ideas, and the Republican has 5 good ideas and 10 bad ideas, right? If I'm just like, hey, I'm a diehard blue person or I'm a diehard red person, I'm getting twice as many, you know what I'm saying? I'm getting 10 bad ideas for the 5 good ones.
Yeah.
But if I allow myself to be on a sliding scale, now I can take the 5 good from this guy and the 5 good from this guy, and now I get my 10. Now I got 10 good things. Now I got 10 good policies, right? But people aren't willing to do that these days. There's this idea that, hey, if I give in, if I give in a little, then I'm wrong on everything. You know, it's like, yo, if I give a little ground, then all of my stuff's wrong. No, man. Like, you got to have that human aspect, you know?
Yeah. It's like off of what you're saying, they feel like their vote doesn't matter if it's for the losing team.
Yes.
But it's not just left or right. There's more options. There is a spectrum, but we've gotten so far away from realizing that everyone's minds are just narrowed in and focused on blue side, red side. You know, my guy, your guy. You know, and oh well, this is what my guy wants, so I agree with all of it. Like, you don't have to agree with all of it. You know, I mean, I've voted both sides in the few election years that I've had since I've been 18. And, you know, and it's every year. You know, and they say you know, the lesser of 2 evils. It's like, well, when the top dogs are both just as bad, why don't you step out of your comfort zone and go vote for somebody else?
There's a vote for independent or third party. Yeah.
But then they feel like their vote's wasted. Oh, now I'm going to be on the losing team. Well, but if everybody had that open mind and stepped out of that norm, away from all that divisiveness, then, you know, we might actually have some good change.
Right.
It won't get so heated like it is now.
Yeah, he nailed it. I think another thing is, you know, when people are like, so who did you vote for? You know, you know what I mean? Like, it comes to like I don't know how to explain that very well, but it's like a public thing, you know, like people are judging you based on who you might have voted for, or if you don't want to say who you voted for, then they're going to make up he voted for this person or that person. It just becomes I don't know, some people want to keep their voting private, some people want to display it to the world, whatever it is, like, once again, freedom, do you know what I mean? But I think people kind of play it like a team thing, you know what I mean? Like, oh, he's on this team or he's on that side, and then he's on that side. But, you know, like I said in the beginning, and then you explained it very well, both you guys did. It's like, you don't have to be just this or this, you know, when you were talking about the 5 good things and the 10 bad. Well, if you were to allow yourself to open up and listen, you know, you could hear this, and you could pull the best from both. Man, it's it seems like it would be a simple thing to do, but I think people overcomplicate it sometimes, and then they get stuck in the team thing, you know, the red side, blue side, and if I give an inch, they're gonna take a mile type thing, you know.
Yeah. It's that collective consciousness, right? Like, people want to vote because, oh, he's a popular president, so I'll vote for that guy because I used to vote. Because I used to vote that way too. I was just like, oh, he looks good on TV, I'm gonna go vote for that guy. You know.
One other thing, I think the worst way to do something is to do it just because somebody else did.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I think that's the number. I think that's a number one. Step to destruction. Like, I'm gonna do that because my family's done it and my grandparents did it, so I'm just gonna do it. But it's like, dude, like, you might be doing yourself in, you know. And I said that on a previous podcast, you know.
Right.
If your friends jump off a bridge, are you going to too?
Exactly. Exactly. You know.
Yep. Absolutely. As entrepreneurs, you don't have to be political to learn politics, because what's politics, man? And the bottom line for politics is money. Like, lawmaking, money. You know, Congress, it's all about money. You know, war is all about money, right?
It's the machine.
It's the machine, bro. It's what makes the world go around. It's all comes down to money. That's right. You know, when, you know, they, I don't know if I should be saying this, but you know why they off journalists, right? When they do like investigative journalism and they get silenced.
Yeah.
You know why they get silenced? Because they were following their dirty money, bro. So
shout out to Gary Wood.
Yeah, Gary Wood. So you don't have to, as an entrepreneur, you don't have to be political to learn politics, because as an entrepreneur, you're dealing with your livelihood, where you're making your passion and you're making a business out of it, right? And as entrepreneurs, you got to learn what's going around in your community, like policy wise, like, oh, what's the policy here, or what's the, you know,
know what you can and
what you can do, exactly, right? And like, what taxes, or what's my tax bracket if I do this, or what's a tax rate if I open this type of store or this restaurant, right? So you don't have to be political, but you got to learn politics, you know. So as an entrepreneur, I think it's very important, because that's money, bro. Like, that's your livelihood.
I think entrepreneurship forced me to, learn about the tax part of business, because I'm like, okay, if I'm selling this for this, Uncle Sam's going to need his, how much percent of each item that I sell do they need? And it I didn't want to, but it forced me to have to educate myself on that, so that I don't do something against policy.
Yeah, because it forces you to learn when it comes to like voting season, right? It forces you to learn, which candidate is in favor of taxes versus who's in favor of not taxes. So, how is my business going to benefit? Like, see, that's how you become not political, but that's how you learn, politics. It's very important, man. Like, that's, it really did red pill me of what's going on in the world right now. And it's sad, like you said, the differences is, people are just fighting each other with words, and it's just like, come on, just have a conversation. Yeah, exactly.
Yelling at each other,
right?
And, you're wrong, you're wrong, and let's just fight each other.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Going off what you said, Barry, as far as when you start a business and you gotta see what candidates are for, and what kind of taxes you'd be paying and such. And I thought about it and just kind of attribute like the success of the wine industry out here, because they don't get. It's more of it's almost an entertainment business, but they don't pay those entertainment taxes. It's an agricultural tax that they pay or get right. I don't know too much about it, but I know that's one reason for them being so successul.
Yeah. I mean, perfect place for it.
Yeah, Sonoma County, baby. Wine country.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think you really hit on a good point. just like what Sterling was saying, when you brought up the fact that, like, hey, when it comes to entrepreneurship, you're looking at what politicians' policies best suit your business, right? And I feel that if all the citizens out there were to do the same thing and they say, hey, what politicians' policies best fit my life, best fit my lifestyle, like who's gonna increase the power of the dollar, who's gonna do these things, for me, then politicians would have to earn your vote. Because with the way things are set up right now, it's just like what Sterling was saying earlier about, they give us a choice to choose between the lesser of two evils. Like, anytime somebody's having you choose between two evils, you're still getting evil.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? That's like, you want a lot of poison or a little poison.
Yeah.
You're still getting poison.
Yeah.
All right. So I feel that if the people out here were to go out there and they were to say, hey, you're not going to just get my vote because you're wearing a red tie or a blue tie. It's going to take more than that, right?
Yeah.
Because that's, the color tie that they're wearing, that's like a flag on a gang member, right? It's going to take more than you saying that you're a Blood or a Crip for you to get my vote.
Mm-hmm.
Then these politicians would have to be honest, because right now the politicians, they know, hey, America is pretty much a two-party, not even pretty much, America's a two-party system, right? Mm-hmm. It's the Democrats and the Republicans. So as soon as a politician puts a D or an R with their name, they know that they're getting almost half of the vote.
Yeah.
So now that all they got to do is move the needle a little, a little to the left, a little to the right, right? But if we ignored that letter, if we ignored the red and the blue and said, no, you got to earn this, then we would see change. Then we would actually see, hey, policies that are in place to benefit our lives versus their parties.
Yep.
I think you got it nail on the head. If they are a quality person of character, like if they own up to the things they say, and that is where the problem is typically with politicians nowadays.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think another big thing that comes into it is the distraction, because they don't want people to think like what you guys just said.
Yeah.
So you get commercials, Instagram ads, YouTube ads, whatever it may be, ads on billboards, right? And it keeps you away from actually diving into the person's track record, or because you're just getting flooded with, oh, this person's gonna do this, and it's on TV every channel, every however many seconds it's on your phone, and you are just like, oh, well, they seem like, oh, they're gonna do this, and it's like, well, are they really? You know what I mean?
Right.
And number one, and number two, what does their track record look like before this moment? Like, if you look back on what they've done and their policies previous to this. So I think it's all the ads and the hoorah is distracting people from actually looking at what the person's policies are.
Right. Absolutely. Damn. Woof.
Yeah.
That's
We
great.
out here today.
We're out here today, bro. We're out here today.
Having that tough talk.
Yeah, that tough talk. But we're going to take a short break from a word from our sponsor.
Need fingerprinting? There's only one local live scan company to trust. Ameriprints Live Scan Fingerprint Services. Here's Ameriprints founder Alan Cox.
I opened Ameriprints back in 2005 as the first private service provider for live scan fingerprinting in Sonoma County. We have perfected the process and ensured our community a safe, secure, educated, and most importantly, a qualified business to handle confidential fingerprint information. I have over 20 years of active duty military experience dealing directly with background checks and the live scan process. My employees and I are thoroughly trained and utilize the latest technology to ensure your fingerprints and personal data are delivered immediately and securely to the California Department of Justice. The minute you walk through the door, you'll feel confident knowing fingerprinting is our only business and your information will be properly processed.
Ameriprints, with locations in Santa Rosa, Petaluma, San Rafael, and Rohnert Park. Go to ameriprints.com or call 707-588-9866.
We are back. Thanks to our sponsor, Ameriprints. Thank you, Mr. Alec Cox. You're the best. But yeah, so going back to the topic, people vote for free stuff, but they don't vote for freedom. Mm-hmm. What do you guys think about that?
Absolutely.
Right, so
you said I'm not even gonna say anything,
Yeah.
dude. You just nailed it right there.
Yeah. So I'll give you the
Next question.
I'll give you the analogy. I'll give you the analogy of the cage lion versus the lion that's out in the wilderness, right? So when you have a cage lion in the zoo, right? He's housed in a cage. He's given 3 meals a day. He's given vaccines, right, to keep his from any animal diseases or whatever. He's being looked after by the zookeepers or whatever, right? And he's free. I mean, not free, but he's inside his cage, safe, right? Playing it safe, but he's not with his animal instinct. Versus the lion who's out in the wilderness, he has full autonomy. He can hunt whenever he wants.
He's free.
He is free, but he's more in danger, right? What do you guys think about that? Like,
Life's a risk or not?
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
I think, it comes to that risk factor. You kind of got to risk it for the biscuit if you want that freedom, right? Like
Right.
a lion who's out in the wild, I heard somebody else kind of with the same analogy, and he was saying, the lion that's caged, if that's been in his environment his whole life, well, why do they still lock the cage?
yeah,
Because, at some point that lion is going to figure out, well, there's probably something else out there. Yeah. And, it reminded me of that, kind of different, but I think, yes, the lion that's caged is fed, full, happy, he's got whatever, but is he really happy? And I'm kind of relating that to the human, like to the man's aspect, right? Yes, you have, your house, your clothes, and you don't have to worry about much maybe, but like, is that really what you want? Are you really happy? Or would you be happier if you ran and free dived off this cliff and really saw what was out there, So I think it kind of displays comfort ruining people's dreams because they're so comfortable for so long that they're just like, oh, well, I'm comfortable here, I'm safe here, I got what I need. And I, as most of you guys probably know, I'm the opposite. You know what I mean? Like, I'm down for the funk. Like, I'm down for traction. I'm jumping off the cliff, bro, because I know, yes, it could be dangerous, and I might not be able to see what's around every corner, but I know the reward is going to be far greater.
Yeah.
Far greater.
yeah,
Freedom over security any day.
yeah.
My opinion. But before we started, Mike, you had mentioned, this life with policies, just full of politics and policies and just scraping by and struggling. We weren't meant for that. We were meant for a different type of life.
Absolutely. We see that now, and those two lines, right? The one, you got the one line in the cage, like you said, but the line in the cage is being taken care of, but it's not free. Then you have the other line that's in the wild. It's free, but with that freedom comes responsibility.
Yeah.
And liability. So that line is liable for its own actions. It's whether it lives or dies is based off of its own actions. And that's what we see between the entrepreneur versus the person who decides, hey, I'm going to get this job set. I'm going to do the 9-to-5 grind from now to forever because it's safe and secure, right? That entrepreneur, they might die on the streets, right? They might not make it, or they might make it, but it's on them.
Yep.
And I feel that a lot of people out there, it's almost like they have that fear of leaving the cage, right? They have that fear of, oh my goodness, what's out there, you know, like what kind of scary things out there. But what they don't realize is, yo, you're a lion. You're the scary thing. Yeah. Like, the cage isn't there to protect you from what's out there. Yeah. Exactly, right? And imagine if all of the lions in the world, said, hey, I'm gonna break these locks, and all the lions in the world decide, hey, we're gonna run these streets. It wouldn't fit the system, because right now the system is safe because those lions are in the cage, right? But
it would break the system.
Exactly, right? And so for me, if I have to choose between being the lion in the cage or being free, I'm going to choose that freedom, because I believe that it's in our nature to be free. I believe it's in the nature of most creatures to be free, because you look at your pet, right? You leave that door open, it wants to run outside, right? You can love your dog, you can love your cat, right? And you say, oh man, my pet is really, really well trained, and even if I leave my door open, my pet is so well trained that it's not going to go out there. You had to train that into your pet.
Yep.
It was not part of your pet's natural nature.
It's true.
Right? Like, just you admitting it, you were like, yo, my pet is well trained. Yes, you had to instill that in them, right? Like the slave mentality, the hey, I'm gonna work to live type mentality. That's not something that you're born with. That's something that has been instilled in you. And I see it a lot when it comes to like foreign travel and stuff, and I tell people, oh man, I'm gonna go check out this country, I'm checking out that country and stuff, and they're like, no, yo, right? you're gonna leave the safety of America? Oh no, you're gonna leave your cage? Like bro,
I could die in a car accident. You know right? What I mean?
Anything. I could be in a bad neighborhood here. And I could be in a neighborhood and say, hey, I'm a Democrat or I'm a Republican, yell that out the window and see what happens to me, right?
Yeah.
And so
it's crazy.
These people, man, they feel secure in their cage, but if you look at what humans have been capable of, right, throughout human history, somebody had to be brave enough to say, hey, I know that it's a scary world out there, but I'm going to leave this cave. All right. Then somebody had to sit here and say, you know what, man, I don't know what's across that water over there. I can't even see that horizon over there, but I'm going to get in this boat and I'm going to go check it out.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah.
And somebody had to look up at the night sky and say, man, that there is an infinite void up there. I'm going.
Right.
All right. That mentality is how we got to where we are today. It wasn't the let's play it safe. All right. So
yeah,
we got to get out there and hunt.
Do you know why, man? This is really good, dude. I'm having fun with this, man. Do you know why freedom always trumps security? Is because we were made in the image of a creator. He gave us 2 arms, 2 legs, and a brain. He says, I give you freedom, now figure it out. Be creative.
Yeah, freedom.
Do something with the land that was given to you, and do something with it. This is yours.
Freedom, autonomy, dominion.
Yeah. And
you want to sit in a cage?
Yeah.
Bro, I'll wave to you from across the way, because I was actually, me and Mike had an hour. I was driving, and Mike was with me, and Jules was asleep in the back. So I was talking to Mike for the whole trip, an hour and 20 minutes, on how I want to say kind of fed up with the 9 to 5, you know what I mean? But only because I know that I'm built for so much greater, you know? And it's not just, I'm not being selfish, not just for me, but because I want to help other people. I want to be able to help other people reach their dreams and aspirations. And it's the line. I can't believe we're actually talking about this today because of the conversation that me and Mike had yesterday. And I'm just screaming in the car to Mike, dude, I was blessed with all these things. I I can learn a new language. I can teach myself math. I can learn multiple languages. I can communicate with different people. I can go different places. I can create things with my hands. I can create art. I can teach myself any skill, how to play an instrument. But like, why should I have to live like in poverty? You know what I'm saying? Like, why should, like, I was created, I used the word demigod, but I had to, I was like, Mike, I'm going to try to explain this the best way I can. I was like, I feel like we're demigods and we shouldn't be living, like, scraping by. I feel like we should be living abundantly. That way we can help other people get there.
Yeah.
I mean, I was passionate about it yesterday, bro.
There's a mindset, there's two mindsets that's in this world. There's a scarcity mindset and there's abundance mindset, right? The abundance mindset is, look, you know what? I'm an entrepreneur. I know I'm going to fail at it, but I'm going to keep going because I know I'm going to succeed. If I'm willing to fail, that means I'm going to be willing to succeed. At some point, right? Mm-hmm. Scarcity mindset is, oh, that's too expensive. I can't buy that. Abundance mindset is,
I'm about to get this.
I'm going to get this. I'm going to figure out how to buy that.
How to do it.
Because that's the abundance mindset. That's autonomy. That's your decision, right?
Exactly. So it just takes a game plan.
Yeah,
I feel like it takes a game plan. Like, don't jump into something blindly. Like, try to map it out as best as you can, or how you think it's going to happen, and then go from there. I'm not saying it's going to go exactly like that, but at least you have some sort of grounds on how to operate.
Right.
You know?
Absolutely.
It works. After my first divorce, I was down in the dumps. Just no money. I quit my full-time job and I was a temp, or where I am now, and so I was laid off at the time. It's like, what do I want? I want to be happy, and I don't want to be stuck in this pit. I want a motorcycle. So I looked up the bike I wanted. I didn't have any money, so I was like, all right, what do I got to do? I got to pay off my debt. So I'll work, pay off my debts. That was step one.
Yep.
Step two, save money, just enough for a down payment. Got a bike, and it was like, I rode that bike home the day I got it, and it was, as soon as I hit the freeway, it was scary.
Yeah.
Because there was no doors around me.
Yeah.
There was no security blanket. I was just wind in my face, cars driving by me, and it was scary.
Yeah.
But it was so liberating and just
rewarding, probably.
Yeah, it was. Like, I did this all by myself. I didn't have anything, and I didn't expect to have anything, but I set my mind to a goal, and I got it.
Absolutely.
Dude, being uncaged.
That's so cool, man.
Yeah.
That's really cool, dude. Thanks for sharing that.
I can vouch for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that pursuit of freedom is scary, right? Like, because when you don't know where your next meal is coming from, and I'm using the term meal like figuratively, right? Like, still talking about the two lines, right? You got that one line, he's on a feeding schedule, it's not the meat he wants to eat, right? Like, he wants to be eating like zebra and gazelles and all that kind of stuff, right? It's the leftover, meat and stuff like that, grade F, meat, right? Yeah. And so, but it's consistent, and he knows when it's coming. Hey, I'm getting this 3 times a day, right? And in that other line, he knows that he can have the zebra, he can have the gazelle, but it's gonna be based off of his own efforts, right? Yeah. And one of the things that is missing from a lot of people's lives, like a lot of people, they'll wake up and stuff, and they'll pursue a job or pursue a career, and they're doing it and stuff, and they're doing it each and every single day, but they're not feeling fulfilled, and they wonder why, man, or they don't know that the thing missing in their life is that feeling of fulfillment, right? And then I challenge anybody, hey, go out, like go to your local hardware store, buy a couple pieces of wood, get some nails and stuff like that, and just build like a bird box or something. Yeah, build
That's
something.
what Jules' dad was saying yesterday.
Build anything.
Maybe we need to get him on the podcast someday.
Right? Yeah. He's got stories to tell. Like, I mean, he is a legend.
Yeah,
man's a living legend. We call him Ruben Rambo. Yeah, he is a legend. But it's like, build something with your hand, because for guys like us, who've done trade work and stuff like that, electrical work, other type of trade work, we know what it's like to create with our hands, right? Like for like Barry, right? Like when you are creating content and you see that final product of what you have created, right? That feeling, a lot of people these days, they're trying to shortcut that process, and so they'll try to get it from playing video games, or they'll try to get it from all these other sources, right? But when you build something with your hands, when you create, right, and you taste your success, that's that lion going out and getting its own meal. Like people need to just start getting out here and tasting their own success, the results of their success, and it'll help them come out of that comfort zone of that cage. Yeah. Right. It'll help them be like, and a lot of times people will sometimes be in a situation where the lock is left off the cage, and they'll go and they'll relock it themselves, right? They'll tell themselves like, oh, I really, there's this other position available at my job, or there's another position available at this other company, or my buddy wants to go in on a business with me, but I don't want to risk it because my spouse is dependent on me, right? Yeah. Or my kids are depending on me, right? Like I have all these other things, right? I got bills to pay. That's such a common thing I hear a lot is, hey man, I can't take chances, bro, because I got bills to pay, right? Those things will always be there. Those limiters will always be there. Okay? Like you're always gonna be able to find excuses to stay in that cage, right? But when you sit here and you say, hey, listen, my spouse is gonna support me, hey, me and my spouse, like my spouse doesn't want me stuck in this dead end position, right? They don't want me coming home, feeling defeated every day, right? Or at least they shouldn't. At least I hope they wouldn't, right? Work together, be that team, right? People are like, oh, what about my kids, man? What about my kids? My kids need this, my kid. Okay, you know what? I think your kids will be fine with having a couple, a few less video games, and a parent that they look up to with respect for, hey, taking those chances, taking those opportunities, and showing them the way. Like, hey, little Timmy, hey, little Ann, it's okay to not be a slave. Yeah. Like, it's okay to step outside that comfort zone. Like, show those kids what freedom is, right? Like,
show them early so that they can.
Exactly, right? It. Like, they need that more than they need, the next video game console.
Yeah. Or the next big toy, or the next big cell phone or whatever.
They need those life lessons. Like, hey, those kids seeing their parent grind it out is going to be way more beneficial to them than anything that Hollywood's pitting out.
I can do it.
Teach them character.
Exactly.
Don't teach them material.
Right.
Exactly.
Absolutely. Yeah. Wow. This is. We're on it today.
That reminds me, Mike. Just the other day, I think I sent it to you, or you sent it to me. It was a clip of Steve Harvey.
I sent it to you.
Yeah, Steve Harvey.
Talking about you are an oak tree. If you plant an oak seedling in a pot, its roots are only going to grow to the size of that pot. That pot limits it. But if you plant it out in the open, then
it's unlimited. It's unlimited. Yeah.
Growth. Don't limit your personal growth.
Absolutely.
You gotta open your container. You gotta open up your environment. If you want to grow. If not, cool. Stay in the pot.
Yeah. Yeah. So you guys do understand that, like, when people vote for like bigger government, right? When they vote for bigger government, the more rights get taken away.
Absolutely.
We understand that.
Yeah, so that's the autonomy part, right? Like I'm all about like limited government, more freedom, versus less taxes or whatever, because we're feeling it, man. You see those gas prices, bro. It's just everything. The inflation is up, bro. It's just like, yeah, it's hard, man. It's hard. So Yeah, people vote for free stuff, but they don't vote for freedom, man. Once I heard that, dude, I was just
Yeah.
like, dude, that blows
That's
my
why I
mind.
said just next question.
See, is that meme? I just saw that meme the other day. It's like the guys all, government's all, here's some free stuff. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, he's got $2 coming his way, or
Yeah.
2 stacks of bills, and then he's giving, buying stuff with 5 stacks of bills, and
Yeah.
then that's just going right back
to the
government. It's
back to the cycle.
that's
Yeah,
the cycle.
yeah.
Yeah, it's such a vicious.
It's
cycle.
a vicious cycle, man. And the
Yeah.
system, dude. The system is against us all, dude. It's not meant for you to be happy or to be successful. It's for you. The system is there for you to be kept in line.
Yeah.
It's meant for us to break. So that's what we're gonna
Absolutely.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
gonna shatter this thing.
Yeah, for me, I feel like I know Barry, you're a big fan of the Matrix franchise.
Yep.
Well, the whole premise of the Matrix, right, is you have humans that are being used to power the machines.
Yep.
And I feel that that's where society's at right now, especially here in our country, is we're being used to power machines, right? And these machines might be, are corporations, these machines are government, right? We're being used, and eventually what happens with a battery when it's all used up, right, is it dies, right?
It dies.
So that we're literally being used from the time we're able to produce for somebody else until we die.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
And they'll give us the promise of a retirement when they're done with us, right? When they're like, hey, we'll let you retire when you're no longer able to produce anymore for us.
So what you just said, we'll let you.
Yeah.
Yep.
We'll let you.
You was tripping, bro. You sadly mistaken if you go let me do anything. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, that's
I'm going to let you. Oh, you're gonna let me? Okay.
But see, that's what people are signing up for when they choose to be the lion in the cage. Like what Barry was saying, just a second ago when Barry made that comment about, hey, people are voting for bigger government because they feel bigger government means more security. Well, that would be like the lion in the cage saying, hey, I want more zookeepers. I want a bigger cage.
Yep.
Because with that bigger cage, with those stronger bars, with those thicker bars, comes, instead of me just getting 3 grade F portions of meat a day, now I get 4. Oh my goodness! Like, look how great my life is now. It's like, man, they're changing my hay out, twice a month now.
Yep.
And instead it's like, dude, get out of the cage.
Yep.
And that's where the system, the like voting and the bi-party system is broke, because you have this majority. I understand maybe back in the day that's what would have worked, but I mean we're in a different place now. So
Yep.
you got that lion in the cage. You got all the lions in the cage, and there's more of them than there are wild free lions.
Yep.
Well, we don't like the fact that those lions are free. We want them to be in a cage too.
Absolutely. Yep.
Bro,
Yo,
you know,
that
why
is
does
everything
that
was
is so true, dude.
Why does the free lion have to give up his freedom because this guy?
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
Don't.
And
Oh man, I felt
Live
that.
and let
I
live.
felt that. I felt that,
dude,
bro.
Another thing is, I used to be at the point where I'm like, okay, let me try to wake these other lions up. But now I'm at the point where I'm like, lions unite. We don't got time no more. We gotta go. You know what I mean? Like when Neo wasn't he trying to wake?
Yeah, he was trying to wake people up.
Okay,
Yeah.
right. But it gets to a point where it's like, okay, like some people don't want to be awoke, and you might not have time to wake up every single person. So at some point, you're gonna have to rally up and go. And I feel like with my squad right here, like that's where I'm at.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And the other lions can wake up when they hear this.
Yeah, absolutely. Sterling hit on such a strong point. A lot of people have heard the analogy of crabs in a bucket, right? You got these crabs in a bucket, and none of the crabs can make it out because they're all trying to get out at the same time. They're pulling each other down. But the people that we're seeing these days, they're worse than crabs in a bucket because they're not pulling you down because they're also trying to escape. They're pulling you down because they don't want you to escape. It's simply that they're afraid that you will be free and your freedom shines more light on their misery.
As misery loves company.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, and it's like a lot of the time, it's people that come from the same place you came, right? So we came from the same place, and you're doing. Unfortunately, people like to compare themselves, right? So it's we came from the same place, and you're doing leaps and bounds better than I am. But I'm hurt by it because me and you came from the same spot with the same opportunities, and now you're doing better than I am.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you're putting in more work.
There you go.
Yeah.
They don't see the,
Yeah.
but that's the whole thing.
Yeah.
We're doing two different things here. We have two different destinations here. You know what I mean? But you don't get to see that. You don't get to see the grind. You see what I allow people to see. You know what I mean? But you don't see the late nights, the early mornings. I'm sure when we watch Barry's videos, they're fantastic. Don't get me wrong, but Barry, I'm sure, does hours of.
There's so
editing.
much. Yep.
Yeah.
There's so much more that goes
If I can
into
give
this.
that as an example.
Thank you.
like,
Yeah.
an example.
Absolutely, there's so much more that's going into it than what people see, and it's always my thing is what blows my mind is the number of people out there who are miserable with where they are, either financially, physically, mentally, or spiritually, and yet all they're doing is maintaining their current level of being miserable, right? Of misery, right? Like, yo, if you are not happy where you are financially, and financially you're working 40 hours a week, Monday through Friday, okay, then work 41 hours, work 42, work 44, right? Work 80 hours a week and see where you are then, right? Because if you right now, you know what your current levels are producing, right? If you don't like where you are physically, right? If you're like, oh man, I'm too flabby right now, summer's coming up, and I don't feel good about how I look. You know what your current output produces. So increase your output.
Increase your output, yep.
Right? Like, yo, until you increase your output, right, you're going to get the results that you currently have, right? Like,
absolutely.
yo, if you're like, oh my goodness, man, I'm drowning in debt, right? I'm drowning in debt, right? Yo, that debt isn't your main problem, right? That debt is a result, right, of your spending habits. Yo, so continue to spend like you spend, and you're gonna continue to live like you live.
Yep.
Continue to eat like you eat. You're gonna continue to weigh what you weigh.
Yep.
Right? Like, and it's like, but people will sit here and they'll say, oh man, I want to eat better, but junk food is more
fulfilling or happy.
Yeah, it's more fulfilling, right? Yeah. Or healthy food is more expensive, or you guys are telling me to eat better, but you guys got trays of cookies in front of you, right? Like, oh my goodness, right? It's like, yo, don't worry about what I'm eating.
I deserve these cookies,
right? Right? Yo, that's what I'm saying. Why you worry about what I'm eating? Like what I'm eating ain't gonna slim your waist.
Yeah.
Right? Like, yo, do what you need to do, man. Increase your output.
Don't talk about it, be about it.
Yeah,
be about it. Do the action, right?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, do it, dude.
Get a second job.
Yep.
Get a third, get a fourth, get a fifth.
Until you can get yourself up.
Until you get to where you want to be.
Yep.
And then maintain that.
Break off that security blanket and take a risk.
Yeah.
For once. Be free. Be that free line.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
You heard?
Yeah, facts. You know what I'm saying? Yo, how many nights I got off during the week?
About 0.
Right?
Yeah.
I'll
be trying to get a hold of you.
I know, man. You know what I'm saying?
It's to the point where I know your work schedule.
Jay hit me up and he'll just be like, hey, I know you're working.
Here's a little text.
What time you gotta be to work? 4:30.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I'm like, yo, but people will sit here and they'll work 40 hours a week and wonder why they not getting ahead, bro. If you work 40 hours a week and you like where you're at right now, then guess what? You working the right amount per week, right?
For you.
Yo, if you're putting in, 30 minutes a day at the gym and you like your physique, then guess what? You know that you're putting in enough time and that your diet is right.
Yep.
All right. But if you don't like it it's that sliding scale, right?
Change
and,
something.
and increase it a little bit, and then give it 6 weeks. Oh, you know what? I like this, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Now, do I want to maintain it or do I want more? Right? Okay, if I
So
want more.
speaking of a sliding scale,
You know?
you might have to increase some things while you decrease other things.
Yep.
Facts, right?
Absolutely.
And people
You can take that,
Yeah, people don't wanna let go of stuff.
Yep.
Yeah.
people don't be wanting to let go of stuff. They don't want to let go of their bad habits. They don't want to let go of their.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, and those people that don't want to let go of those bad habits, those people that are miserable, right? And when you see when they see you making the moves, they're like, oh, I hate him. I hate him for making the moves because I'm not making the moves.
Jealousy.
Why is he doing that? Like, does he think he's better than me? Like,
And if they
dude,
were
bro,
to
you get
just-
haters, bro.
If they were to just change one, for example, like if there's somebody who sees our podcast and they're like, oh, I can't believe they're doing a podcast because I wanted to and I'm not. If that person, just hypothetically, if that person were to come and sit down and do a podcast with us and see how great this is and how much fun we have, it would change their entire outlook
absolutely.
on everything, and they'd start to run and they would get after it. So I think it's one experience away for people. It's one experience. Yeah, it might make you feel some type of way that somebody's doing something that you want to do, but go do it so that you can feel that, and then it feels itself, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yo, man, this is a great episode, dude. I wish Zach was here.
Yes.
Oh man, I want to hear what
We're
Zach
gonna
would
get
have
on
said,
this
but
Absolutely.
yeah, good points, man. Really, really good points, Sterling. You had you killed it out of the ballpark, bro. That was man, just blew my mind there. But the last conversation I want to have before we close out, friendship should never mix with business. So I know somebody recently. I'm trying not to name any names here, but she sold something to one of her friends, and her friends didn't like it. Right? It was a jewelry. I won't say what was it, but it was a piece of jewelry, and she was like, "Oh, yeah, I'll sell it to you." But the jewelry turned out to be small, and
Did she make jewelry or something?
no, she doesn't make jewelry. She just she buys and sell.
Okay.
And then she's and then her friend was like, "Oh, it's too small." There was she didn't feel like there was like a sense of gratitude there. Like, hey, I did all this work for you to buy it from me and stuff like that. So long story short, I told this person, this is why you should never sell to your friends. Business and business and friendship should never ever mix together, because friends, as much as I like to have friends will use their friendship
To try to get one over.
get one over, right? So for perfect example, right? Zach Miller, when he sold us his shirts, right? He told us straight up $40, right? I was like, cool, $40. Did I use my friendship to ask him, hey, can I get a discount? I'm so supportive of Zach and his shirt because you know what? I'm so supportive. I'll pay full price for $40. That's what a good friend does. Is if you're a good friend, then you support the business. What do you guys think?
Absolutely.
100%.
Yeah, I heard an analogy one time, and it said, if you're selling water, your friends will buy it down the street for $2. If you're selling water for $1, people that you know will buy it down the street for $2 because you won't sell it to them for 50 cents.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah.
And I see it all the time. I have a friend of mine. He's now successfully retired. He does digital media. He does like cards and all this stuff. Like he's an author. Like super successful guy, right? But whenever he releases a book, or whenever he releases something with his clothing line or something like that, right? The people that will be willing to pay what he's asking, that he knows, it's like he has better success with strangers than he does with those who yeah,
Of course.
yeah,
Yeah.
and it blows my mind.
Yeah.
So never mix the personal with the professional.
Yep. Yeah, that's what I
Keep it
told this
separate.
person. Like, you never mix the business should never be personal. It should always be as two separate worlds. If a friend wants to buy something from you or wants a service from you, it's like, hey, tell them straight up, like, hey, this is my price. Now, me as an entrepreneur, I could give, if let's say, you want to do video work, right? And you want to hire me to do video work. And if me as an entrepreneur, I'm going to put the ball in your court. It's like, you know what, Mike, you're a good friend. I'll give it to you for a discount. That's on me because I offered it to you, right? I put that on the table as an option, right? Mike could either take that. It's like, oh yeah, sure. Yeah, he's giving me a discount, or he could say, no, I could pay full price.
Right. So two things. I remember maybe the second or third episode, I brought you and Zach 2 of my shirts, I think, and didn't charge anything. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause y'all my homies.
Right.
And it wasn't going to destroy my business. I wasn't going to run out of inventory.
Right.
But I figured you guys are like my real friends. You know what I mean? And here we are to this day. On the other half, when I released my first shirt, I had a lot of friends hit me up. They didn't ask me to, oh, can I get it for this or can I do it for that? No, I put it at a price and they bought it. And they were happy and gave me reviews and were giving me great feedback. And those were what I would consider real homies. You know what I mean? So either way.
Yeah, absolutely.
If somebody's going to be like, oh, but I'm the homie, let me get it for half price. It's like, is that really your homie? Your homies and your friendship want to boost your business.
Absolutely.
Or whatever service you're providing.
Right.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. That homie hookup is,
if you want to give it, cool. But if you're coming asking like, hey, Mark, let me get the news, you know what I mean? Let me get it for this. Then it's like, man, it's kind of whack. What, you don't think your homie's worth full price?
Right.
Exactly. To put each other on.
Yeah,
you know
because
what I mean?
because some friends and some homies they don't understand that sometimes business is your livelihood. Right, right. It's your livelihood. It's like you don't understand that when it comes to business, it's money. You can use that profit to pay for the rent, food, whatever, to put food on the table, and it's just like saying, Mike, he gets paid more than me, right? He's a good friend, right? But do I go to Mike? It's like, hey, I should get a percentage of your paycheck because you're my friend.
Because I'm your friend.
Because I'm your friend.
Yeah, that's it.
That's exactly.
Yeah.
That's.
I have a guy here, I have a buddy, he owns a burger joint, and when he first took over, I'd show up and he was always giving me discounts. And it's like, dude, I come here to intentionally pay full price to help support your business.
Right.
And like you said, that's his job.
Right.
That's his livelihood. And I'm not trying to short him on that. Like, money comes and goes.
Right.
If I have it and I want to give it to to help support, I will. Yeah. And on the other hand, like if a friend or family or anybody comes up to me and needs something and I have it, like I'm not going to change.
Oh, absolutely.
If I'm getting rid of a table, I want to change a table out in my kitchen. I get somebody up to see if they need it. I'm not going to be like, oh yeah, I'll sell you this table that I don't need.
Right.
I don't need it, and I don't need money for it. I mean, yes, we live in a capitalist country. But it's not, money's not the priority for me. It's friendships, relationships.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. But I don't like ruining friendships over business, friendship, because, like homies and friends, we go out, I'll take you, I'll buy you food, we buy each other food, go out for drinks, have fun, go watch movies or whatever. But when it comes to business, that's why you see in movies when they always, when like the mob, like mobster movies, they always, every time the friend goes into like the business meeting, right? You can see like their face like just totally change. It's like it's no longer about friendship, it's all about business now. It's like, hey, where's this shipment of cocaine going? Exactly, right? So that's why you see like in those mob movies, like the friends turn out to be the bad guy or whatever, or somebody ends up backstabbing.
Usually like the informant.
Or the informant, or usually the informant. Just end up backstabbing each other. But that's just the way it is, man. It's just when it becomes a business, it's business.
So it's better to try to keep those things separate from each other.
Absolutely. But dude, that was a great show, man. That's a great recording.
Absolutely.
Great recording.
Yes, absolutely.
But so Sterling, thanks for being on the table today.
Yeah,
we would love to. We would love to have you more on future episodes. Yeah. So
if you're down,
if you're down, whenever you're available. But episode 9 under wraps. We'll see you guys the next episode. Right.